I love to read. It's absolutely the best thing ever. If you think that this sentence sounds a bit weird and you're probably wondering how can somebody love reading and you can't imagine that, well, I'm about to change that. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your coach Annie and I'm here to help you with your spoken English, your vocabulary and your communication skills. And in today's video, I am going to help you understand the joy of reading. And obviously how to build a habit of reading even if you don't like reading. I, however, cannot and will not explain you the importance or the benefits of reading because you probably already know that. But if you fail to read consistently or even don't find it interesting or even absolutely hate it, well, let me take you to the other side. First of all, reading is amazing. And if you don't like it, you're probably doing it wrong. There are so many myths regarding reading that absolutely kill the joy of reading. I will be sharing some mistakes that you make while reading and also how you can fix that to have a consistent reading habit. So, let's begin. Mistake number 1. Reading is equal to improving knowledge. Well, we all have heard that if you want to improve your knowledge, you must read, and it is so true that you will obviously improve your knowledge by reading, but reading does not always, have to improve your knowledge. You can read for pleasure. What I mean to say is, whenever you think about reading, it feels like a task because you are there to learn something. You are there to improve your knowledge about something. Whereas if you are watching a movie, it feels very easy. It does not feel like a task. Why is that? Because there is this, philosophy in our head that reading is equal to improving your knowledge, which is not always true. You can absolutely read for pleasure. By this, I mean that whenever you are reading something, it does not always have to be knowledgeable. You can read about things that you find fun. For example, romance novels. I am an avid romance novel reader and I love reading romance novels. That is why it doesn't feel like a task. Reading never feels like a task for me. It always is a pleasurable activity and I look forward to it. That is why you should remove this notion from your head that reading is, supposed to improve your knowledge. It will improve your knowledge if you read such kind of books. But reading can absolutely be just for pleasure as well. So remove the myth that reading always has to be something productive, something that improves your knowledge. Mistake number 2 that we all do is we go for the recommended bestsellers. You must have always, heard this, that 5 books you must read in your life or 5 books to improve your knowledge. And when you finally pick one of those recommended books, you are not into it. You don't like it, or it doesn't stick to you and you hate it. And then you feel like, is there something wrong with me? Like, oh, I don't like reading. Is it my fault? So let me tell you that it is the book's responsibility to, hook you on or to make you interested. It is not your responsibility to always be interested in a book. It is the book's responsibility to catch your attention. And if it is not doing that, then probably it's not for you. What I mean by this is never go for recommended bestsellers because it's not curated, right? You don't know what you like. If you are a beginner, I would suggest you that you start with something that you like. Pick a topic that you like and don't read something just because somebody has recommended that to you, that read this book, it's amazing. Just don't read it for that sake. Find your genre. Whenever you pick a book, there is a summary at the end, and if that interests you, if you feel like, oh, I want to know more about this, then go ahead and read that book. Just don't read something because somebody has recommended that for you. Find your genre. For example, if you like sports, read autobiographies of sportsmen. Read maybe novels or fiction about sports. Read something about sports. That will read magazines. That is reading. If you like romance novels, you can, read love stories and all. If you like gardening, hell yeah, you can read books about gardening. Find your genre. Find what you like to read. The best thing that you can do is just pick a book that resonates with what you like to do. And that's how you pick your genre. I will recommend this so much that you start by, reading something that interests you, topics that you are interested in, rather than reading something just because somebody has told you. And it's okay if you don't like a book, because let me tell you a secret, you can abandon it. You can abandon a book midway. It's not compulsory that you finish it. If you're not liking it, you can leave it, move on to the next one until you find a book that you actually like. Mistake number 3 that people do is starting off with novels. Now, this is a no-brainer. If you don't like reading, why will you start with such a huge book? Because it sounds like a big commitment. If you're not into something and you are just, finding out if you like it or not, why will you make such a big commitment of reading a novel? Don't start with heavy books. Don't start with big novels. If you are beginning, you are not ready to make that commitment. Short stories are for the win. You can start with reading short stories. It is reading. If you read a newspaper, it's reading. If you read an article, it's reading. Reading does not always have to be, picking up a huge novel. So you can start with short stories if you are beginning, until you find a story that you're interested in. You feel like, okay, now I can read something, bigger. Then you go with novels, because this is a mistake that a lot of people do, is they start off with novels and then you abandon it, and then you feel like something is wrong with me, I don't like reading. So you begin with short stories and then you go ahead with novels and stuff. The next mistake that a lot of people do is, and I might sound a bit, biased when I say this, but it's like not my personal preference or something, but when you read self-help books, because to be honest, self-help books just keep on repeating the same thing over and over again. It should probably have been an article, but people turn it into books. And when you read self-help books, when you're beginning to learn English, you read self-help books, oh my god, it's a disaster, because you are beginning to learn, reading or even English, and you read about all of these achievements of people, you're obviously going to get demotivated. And it's a bit like reality, like fiction. It's not like fiction, it's non-fiction, it's real. So there's no joy or that much kind of interest. So I would suggest you that don't read self-help books when you're just beginning to form a habit of reading. If you like that, that's your genre, then you can go ahead and read that. But if you're just finding out what you like, I would suggest you to stay away from self-help books. And mistake number 5, I have already talked about this before, but reading is a task. You feel like reading is a task. So this is something that kills the joy of reading. As I mentioned earlier, reading is a pleasurable activity. If you read a book, you don't like it, you can abandon it. Nobody is forcing you to finish that book. Abandon it, try on the next one, keep on trying until you find the perfect book. There's a quote which is, very famous, that if you don't like reading, you probably haven't found the right book for you. And I truly believe in this, because everybody likes to read. You just have to find what you like reading about. Alright, so don't make it like a task that I have to read 5 pages every day or 10 pages every day. You can read 40 pages a day and not read anything for the next few days, and then pick that book again. So it does not have to feel like a task. Just you can read for fun, you can read for pleasure. This is what I have been trying to say from the starting of the video, is that find something that you love and read a book or an article or even a short story about it. And that is how you will try to, find what you like, and you make that habit of reading. You find the joy of reading. So don't think that it's a task. I have shared some book recommendations. Now I know that I told you all that not to read recommended books, but you can check them out. And if you want some, free PDFs, I have mentioned the link in the description. You can just click on the link, and I have a whole folder of PDFs for books that you might or might not be interested in. So you can, check that out, and also like this video, because I'm giving you free stuff and I think I deserve a like for that. So just click on the like button. It really helps me out. Thank you. And next, here are some activities or some things that you can do to make reading more fun. And the first one is read fictional or fantasy books, because when you are watching, a movie which is, non-fiction, autobiography, you feel kind of bored. But when you're watching something that is imaginary, fiction, fantasy, you love it, right? Same as with books. So you can start on with reading fictional books. It could be any genre, and then, you can, like, sci-fi books, romance novels, whatever, fantasy stories, you can try and read that, because those are more interesting. And when something is interesting, you like to do it more, and that is how you develop a habit, right? So first thing you can do is go for fantasy and fictional book rather than, autobiographies and stuff. You can check them out, but once you've had the habit of reading. Second thing, this is no brainer, but use a dictionary. Use a dictionary while reading, because there are some words that you don't understand. You can immediately, open your dictionary and read it. You have so many dictionaries available on your phone, online, offline, or you can actually buy a dictionary, which I would suggest and recommend you all doing, that you find a dictionary, and whenever you're reading, whether it is on maybe your phone or you have an actual book, you can immediately go, back and forth to your dictionary, find out the meaning, and that is how you improve your vocabulary. You always ask me how to improve my vocabulary, right? So what is vocabulary? The words that you know and you use. And this is how reading will help you in improving your vocabulary. So I would suggest you to invest in a dictionary. Those are not expensive. It is something that will help you throughout your life. So invest in a dictionary. Keep a dictionary with you, maybe on your phone, or I would personally suggest you to buy a dictionary, like a book actually. The third thing that you can do is you can make it fun by highlighting or, taking notes. If you're reading a book, like on a paperback, you can just, highlight, you can make notes, you can, make notes even on your phone. That will help you enjoy it, as well as when you finish the book, you can immediately, go to it, and you can see what you've, grasped from the book, what you've understood from the book. And it's very interesting when, sometime later you come back to your notes and you read what you, felt about that book. So this is a very nice method. It actually, makes reading more fun and interesting when you try to highlight and annotate the things. Next thing that you can do is, and this might sound a bit silly, but romanticize reading. Like, romanticizing studying, like when you clear out your desk, or, even buy a new pen. So you can do the same with reading. When you're reading, you can maybe light a scented candle, or even, make cute notes, annotate it. So make it aesthetic. You can romanticize reading, and that will, make you want to read more. So this is just a thing that you can do. You can, make your reading corner Pinteresty, or you can, click a picture. So this is how you fantasize reading, romanticize reading. And it will really help you, give you that boost, make you feel, very good when you read. So you can try this out as well. The next thing that, okay, you want to read, but I can't find books. So what? If you can't find the paperback, go ahead and read the ebooks. There are so many books that are available online for free. What you have to do is you have to just put in the name of the book plus PDF download next to it, and that's it. You do not require any specific website. You do not require any specific app to find, ebooks of any book. Okay, so whatever book you feel that you want to read, just write the title of the book, PDF download, and there will be so many websites that you can download it from. So finding books, it's not difficult, guys. It's not difficult. Okay, so if you don't have the time or the money to invest in a book, like an actual paperback book, what you can do is you can read online, and it's available for free. So you don't even need internet for that. You will just like you'll need internet to download it, but you can read it offline as well whenever you want. So I think ebooks are so amazing, and I personally, I love collecting, books, but I think reading online is very easier. Although I love reading paperback also, and I think I finish books earlier when I read it on paper, but ebooks or whatever PDF you have, so amazing. It is so easier to read and it takes no effort. So reading, finding books is not difficult. So you can just read it online. The next thing, I have already mentioned this, but read what you like. You need to explore, you need to, enjoy that activity before you explore anything out of it. Okay, so read what you like first. You stick to a routine, you see yourself reading consistently, and then you kind of explore other fields as well. So you can start with what you like, and there should not be any specific goal, like you have to read so many books in a particular day, or sorry, not day, in a particular week or something. Okay, so you need not pressurize yourself. So read what you like. And the last thing is, make a routine and stick to it. This might sound like a task, but when you want to get into the habit of something, making a routine is very important. So if you have 1 hour free during your work, or even before sleeping, I would suggest you to instead of playing on your phone or scrolling through social media, which is, I wouldn't say bad, because it's your wish, whatever you want to do with your time, but instead of social media or something, if you're just passing your time on social media, you can instead read books that will really, help you form the habit of reading. So you need to make a routine to stick to it. Alright, so make a routine and stick to it. That was it for today's video. I hope I have somewhat been able to share with you my joy of reading, or why I like to read books, and how you can also make a habit of reading books. Don't forget to check out the link in the description. I have shared the link to all of the ebooks and PDFs that I have read, and something that you might be interested in. So don't forget to check that out. And if there is any other specific topics that you would want me to make videos about, please let me know that in the comments as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.